Well, hello PlayBASIC coders. Welcome back. Been a while since I've had a bit of a conversation with you guys. Let's do a bit of a blog, a bit of a catch up, what's going on. In recent times we've been talking website, a lot of conversations on the forums about the website. You'll see a newer version of the website. It's a different skin, different logos, different features, lots of different things have changed, but it's basically the same layout at the moment. That's going to change as well. I wanted to get the back-end code working up to par. So we've got new features here, like you've got the help files are online. Lots of little differences between this and the old versions. You can go to these pages, you can go there, and there's information about each particular product now. Rather, that will be expanding as we go further, adding more to it, etc. If you want to find out more stuff about the website, the development of it, etc. Look, there's a whole series of these videos on the forums. Head across there and you'll find them. But you can just sign up for free, go and view them, and give you ideas. You know, what things do we need in the future? What things can we do better now, etc. There's a big spectrum. Right. See a pretty nice ray tracer application on the screen there. And that's one of the things that's been done in recent months. I forget when this happened now. Sometime earlier this year, Steve posted some progress on various 3D tools he's been working on. So back in March, he was working on porting a ray tracer written for the Amiga across to PlayBASIC. I'm not familiar with Amiga Basic right now, but I'm imagining there's a lot of, OS calls, etc. that you've got to work out how to emulate or replace. But the principle behind it, the actual ray tracing element itself, that code's probably largely the same. It's probably refreshed it for PlayBASIC, but that's how it goes. So this is back in March. Got a very nice shot up here. Stunning, really. There's a comment here about, where is it? The book said allow up to 3 days to render if using full 640 by 400, or 1 day at half resolution. That's on the Amiga. I wonder what sort of processor they're talking about there. Possibly a stock 68,000. And Steve's going, well, mine computer rendered the 1600 by 960 and took 22 seconds. It's a pretty big improvement of speed, I would have thought. So lots of conversation here about that, and me having a look at it, on making video out of that. That was the first dabble, and then he went away and came back with another progression of this journey, and this time rebuilding the whole project from the ground up for himself, really. And the idea was to build not just something that can render a basic scene, but something that can do, has an editor aspect of it and a rendering aspect as well. You think of it like, if you're familiar with Amiga applications, it's basically making a simplified Blender. Or the current version reminds me a lot of Lightwave. So we start here with our initial versions, as we do. We all do the same thing. It's me having conversations with him about some ideas, and we get through. If you want to download them, you're going to have to sign up for the forums. So these are not downloadable. You can see the pictures, but not their files themselves. We'll jump across to PB. And recently he released an updated version, which has an update to the interface, the rendering. I think it's much the same, but the interface had some problems initially because of the different screen sizes people use, when you write something with a particular screen size in mind and you don't really think about other people have different sizes, then it can be problematic. A lot like a good example here is my own website. The website is a particular width, and in modern terms, that's a bit of a no-no in web development. It's just a legacy from when the old version was built, which was, I'm thinking 2008, maybe 9, somewhere in there anyway. And that was just placeholder. It was meant to be replaced, we couldn't find someone else to do it. Nonetheless, we shall check out this application. So, across the PlayBASIC, I've already loaded. This is the latest release from Steve. F5 to run it. Let's find out. So now it runs nicely standard on the window, and the window he's chosen is scaled appropriately for my size. So it'll work the same for you too. If we check it out, we can go render each line. Thanks. This will take a little. I think it's about 20 seconds. Now we're capturing the system, doing all that, downloading the background, etc. And we're running a ray tracer through just interpreted PlayBASIC. We're basically just running the PB virtual machine. So we're not classically interpreted. We compile to our virtual machine and we run that code, and compile is pretty optimal. But even still, it's a lot of work for this to do, and we're doing a large resolution. But you can go and edit the scene. Check it out. You can move things around and do stuff and pick things and go to surface editors and do stuff with them. And, these are for changing properties about the object, right? We've selected there. We go to surface editor, turn that off, yeah. Move and rotate the camera, moving the camera on that. This is on the Y plane. So look, we're fixed in XZ and moving in there. It must be rotation, is it? Oh, it's alternate view. Make it full screen, that kind of stuff. Quit out of this. Yep, dude. Turn shaded mode on. This gives you like a grounded version of the scene. Hit camera so you can sort of zoom around a bit. It's pretty freaky when you think about it. Okay, now I don't know anything about how to use the application. I'm just showing it to you here. You really have to have Steve do that sort of stuff. This is a difference as well. It's got a tabbed interface for the help files, which is a lot easier. And I think you probably still need to have some sort of vertical control down here. I don't mean a scroll bar. I mean, scroll bar is cool, but you might just have a button at the top, just return to top as you scroll away. So if you use the scroll wheel here, you can scroll down if it's a longer document. Maybe there's some sort of indication here about an arrow showing. Just simple little visual cues that help the user understand what's going on. Long story short, amazing. The code's all there for you to pick through. Like most bigger programs, it is difficult to pick through what's happening. That's not Steve's fault. That's just as things get larger, it takes a lot longer for us to pick through the source code and decipher what's happening in every aspect of the application. But amazing. All right, let's jump back to some forums. Now, this is not the only thing that's been happening. The other day, there was a post made in the forum by an older programmer who wrote some really nice examples back in the day. And there's an example down here called Operation Watergate. Check this out. So it's isometric. Apparently it's like an isometric Mission Impossible. For those people who are familiar with the game on the, I guess it was on the 64, but a lot of other platforms at the time too. I would have thought so anyway. Stunning. Very cool. So, look, I'm guessing they're rendered elements or something like that, or pieced together. That's just how isometric works. Not that I've written one. Actually, no. I don't think I've done any isometric stuff, really. With the robots there, you kind of have that sense of ParaDroid as well. Andrew Braybrook wrote that one. A classic 64 game, Commodore 64 game back in the day, where you could take over robots. I forget the actual gameplay now. It's been such a long time. I could just imagine going up and interacting with the robots there and doing stuff. And cool. Last screenshot. It's very nice. There's interesting things about how that's done. Because you've got to imagine if you're going to render isometric, you're going to have to render in a particular order. So I've got the blocks. Think about the render order here. You're drawing the back row, and the next row across. The rows across to make sure things overlap the correct way. But within those rows, there would have to be sorting as well. Well, actually, I don't really know. Because isometric games were made on old 8-bit platforms. I mean, there's a bunch on the Spectrums, a bunch on the 64, etc. And they didn't do full screen rendering. They were selective about how they were being drawn. So what I suspect might be happening too is that maybe where your character is, so we draw the whole thing initially, and then for movable characters or sprites, you might call them, you might just draw the parts that are in front of them, sort of recursively. I don't know if that would work or not. There's probably some reason why it doesn't. I don't know. You're better off asking Kman because he clearly knows how that works. Yeah, it's a big boost into the community and a big boost into really, for me as well, personally, to see people, experimenting with PlayBASIC, trying to do different things. And I hope one day we'll see a demo, but it may never get to that point. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. I mean, who knows? But it's a big incentive for me to make PB better for people who are doing things like that. To make improvements that will improve people's outcomes directly. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it's all the roundup I've really got for you at the moment. We've got our website's been updated. I mean, a lot of things have been fixed on here. Still some things that are broken, and one of the new things that have been added is a stats package to just the website in general, so you can sort of work out what people are interested in, what people are looking at, when they come to the site. Beforehand, you could get that data from the raw logs. It was hard to decipher things from it. So the way it's been boiled down now is that to make it easier for me to look at things and go, okay, that page is working pretty well. people like this about that page, other things are not being very effective, you know. And that's the goal with all of this. It's trying to boil down the information into the simplest terms and go, are we getting appropriate number of downloads or not? Like, for example, last time I checked the downloads page, there was about a 5% download ratio. So by that I mean that for every 100 people who view the download page, 5 of them download the Learning Edition. And that's kind of the ratio you normally get. It's a bit less than what it used to be, I must admit. Anyway, that's all I have for you. Thanks for hanging around. Thanks for listening to my dribble. I hope you're enjoying your coding. I hope you're challenging yourself out there all the time. If you have a question or whatever you want, you can catch me on social media. You can catch me on the forums primarily. Just go and register, sign up, get on there, and let's start talking. Of course, there's plenty of source codes posted down here on the source code section. I don't know how many pages. There's 42 pages it's saying there of source code, free for people who are members. Same as tutorials, plenty of those, dudes, etc. That's what we're here for. You know, if you post and share your examples, well, other people will help you out, and then you can help them out, etc. And it's that, it's that consistent back and forth how people develop their skills. We're all doing the same thing. We're all just getting better at what we do, Me included, I'm learning new things all the time. So you should be learning new things all the time too. All right, that's enough. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye.